Yes, reporters can be Mobans in a trial for the public's right to know. Interestingly enough, regarding my Twitter, I don't see any tweets of mine before September 11th out of 3,400 tweets, so that'd be interesting to see if people can find those. A lot of evidence destroyed if that's true. So here, this guy yesterday I talked about, Harold Thomas Martin. I wanted to slowly build out the case that he might be a descendant of Lockheed Martin and the Martin Air Company that existed before that. And the reason why I wanted to do this slowly is, first of all, I wanted to show you the house he lived in. I went there yesterday, knocked on the door, nobody home. Like a very small, modest house for somebody who had gone into the Navy intelligence, CIA, etc., and then had left here in '95 to go down to this Office of Defense Acquisition, Technology, and Logistics. Again, if you're the son of a Martin, you're definitely going to be valuable down there, especially if you're coming from the NSA, right? So, and remember, 50 terabytes here, and 75% of all the tools of the most critical hacking unit. I'll get into the history of the Martin Company in a little bit, how they kind of screwed the Wright brothers out of the invention of the airplane, but we're going to get back to that. Here's Defense Acquisition, Technologies, and Logistics. You may remember Ellen Lord as one of the co-conspirators against Trump. We'll get back to that. She was at DHS, I believe. But here we are at Booz Allen, and I'm saying I believe this guy may have gotten these tools to the shadow brokers. And I had speculated that I think Lockheed Martin, this group at NRO, is involved in Lockheed Martin. Remember, we went from the airplane to satellites, and then we went obviously on to missiles as a replacement for the airplane. And that's what Lockheed Martin does, satellites and missiles. Remember James Comey's involvement in Lockheed, and it just seemed like a very tenuous story being put together with these old homes. So just keep moving on. I was a little bit surprised I didn't get more hits, but I had said that since these tools were produced, these cyber hacking tools were produced in August and actually marketed on the dark web. This is a great way of cleansing. When you do steal a lot of cyber tools, you can cleanse it by having a rogue group, shadow broker, sell it on the dark web to your hacking teams in Prague and Budapest and Kiev and Romania, etc., around the Eastern Europe, and then it's clean, it's sort of laundered, and that's why I speculated that Nellie Orr's team was there. So if you don't remember the group of American University stream here, well, first we'll talk about who actually established these different spies in the Cold War. And it was Richard Dearlove. He was with MI6. He was, during the Cold War, he was the first secretary at the British Embassy in Prague. Then he moved on to, I believe, Budapest, and then on to other capitals in Eastern Europe. And he left these spies behind him in all places. And then after the Cold War, he got them out one by one back to London. That's why there's this base in London of these kind of British ex-spies from behind the Iron Curtain. He kind of rewarded them all. And really, Steele, if you want to look at Steele, Christopher Steele, he just basically follows in the footsteps of Dearlove. He's sort of a C+ student, maybe a C- student, but he had an incredible mentor in Richard Dearlove. This is the connection between Dearlove and Halper, right? Basically, just follow in the footsteps of the spy teams that were created for you, and it really isn't a very difficult thing. And Dmitry Alperovich's father also, from the Russia side, the guy who's now running CrowdStrike, is also a brilliant man. And of course, we have a somewhat dimmer role in Dmitry Alperovich, who I used to work with at McAfee, fighting these hacking tools. So here I was standing down here on this little dock. People probably can remember that yesterday if they saw the thing. And I'm pointing down the river here to this huge Lockheed Martin, different places where this isn't the headquarters now, but this was the headquarters at one time. And then you can see there's another Lockheed Martin facility over here by the air base. And now this is all a National Guard place. I correctly said that there was all these A-10 Warthogs over here. This is kind of the auxiliary wing of the Air National Guard now. And if you look just off here, down